Very interesting that they did that. Why would they do that?
Why would they do that, Brian? Let's go through your lizard brain and find out why your lizard friends would do that.
When people ask, is everything a conspiracy? The answer is yes.
Who and what is controlling everything and why? They practice sorcery. I can't argue against magic.
I don't know what it is that we live on, but I believe it's a realm. This realm that we live in is the lowest level of heaven, highest level of hell.
Chicken snake gods and the Anunnaki and sorcery. If Sam says the chicken snake god is running everything, I'm literally in the world of crazy. I'm winning.
You're losing. Conspiracy Social Club, aka Deep Waters.
Yeah, welcome to Conspiracy Social Club, man. I've been talking to
AKA Deep Waters, AKA Highway to the Danger Zone. Touchy subject.
How are you, bud?
What's going on, buddy?
Just fighting the good fight, bud.
But you started saying something, and then I interrupted you.
Well, I was talking to a friend of mine who's like big into the viral video business, and he says, get right into it. Get right into it.
Yeah, you got to get right into it.
Yeah.
Why do you think that viruses don't exist?
Because they've never really been isolated. Is that how we're opening? I mean, I'm all for it, bro.
I just want to get into some things that are bugging me, and today is Bryan questions Sam. That's what it's called. So fuck off, everybody.
Wow, yeah. Dude, this is YouTube.
I don't care.
Yeah, what do you mean you don't care?
Why do you think viruses don't exist?
You know what's exciting, Brian? Before we get into your either your gaslighting or straw man arguments, that's what this should be called. Hi, welcome to Gaslighting Straw Man. We should call this Gaslighting the Straw Man. There we go.
All right.
Brian, did you know YouTube now says that you can openly question the 2020 election?
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why we...
Now, I know, dude, I'm down with following what you've prepared.
It's just
why would YouTube do that now?
Because...
Jesus Christ.
Man, this show is really falling apart.
Dude, I called Sam. I said, we got to talk last night. He doesn't call me. You open up with viruses, and then the mic's falling.
I get right into it, dude. I'm done with this shit. I have some questions.
All right.
Hold on. When did you call me? When did you text me?
Sam, don't have an opinion on viruses.
Okay.
Is that cool?
No.
Don't say anything about them like they don't exist.
Okay,
don't ever say that.
Okay.
Because that's crazy, isn't it?
Okay, Brian.
Would you? Okay, so Sam,
we're 2 seconds into this.
Do you or do you
want
not
a gunfight?
Yeah.
You want a gunfight, Slinger?
Or do you not? This is Bryan questions Sam.
Yeah.
My face feels like it's fucking like somebody put balloons in my cheeks.
Stop swimming in Botox pools.
I just ate too much salt yesterday.
Yeah, I get it.
Cheddar popcorn.
I had Taco Bell last night, and my butthole paid the price.
All right. You
Can we get into other things?
Sure. What do you want to get into?
Whatever Dylan prepared. Can we do that?
Dill, did you
Brian,
prepare
I don't
something?
mind at the end of the show us screaming at each other. I'm all for it. I show up for that.
I wasn't screaming. I was just asking some simple questions.
Okay.
That's all. All I wanted to know was some simple questions.
All right, go on.
Let's start there. Why don't you believe in viruses?
Oh, my God, bro. Oh, my God.
Well, are you saying you don't believe in them or you're suspect?
What I'm saying, Brian, is that Pasteur, all right, who was basically, I believe, the father of the germ theory, on his deathbed was like, oh, it's train theory, and died. That's pretty much a known fact.
Yeah.
Do you know what train theory is?
No, Brian, please, you tell me what train theory is. Yeah, please.
So the idea was this. It's not that Pasteur said that germs don't exist, because pasteurization was how you can keep milk from not going bad as quickly. Do you understand that?
Yeah, okay.
So when you pasteurize something, you bring it up to a certain temperature where you kill off certain bacteria. And that way, and then when you ultra pasteurize it, there's a process where you can actually keep milk for way longer. And the problem with milk when it's raw is that listeria and different bacteria.
Okay. I'm not saying bacteria doesn't exist.
Well, mostly bacteria. We don't know the difference between bacteria and viruses.
Okay, go on, Brian.
You don't know the. Let me say it again. You don't know the difference. But since we're talking about germs, bacteria. So once they were able to pasteurize it, you could keep food had a longer shelf life. That's where you get preservatives and all that, right? So we know that for whatever reason, bacteria will flourish. That's why when you take a petri dish and you cover it and you introduce a bacterium, it'll grow sometimes, right? So a piece of raw chicken that if you left in the sun and you wiped some shit on it, you wouldn't want to eat it in 4 days because it's got a lot of bacteria on it. So so the idea is that yes, germs exist. However, it's really a question of the host's body and the composition of your body. So if you have a very healthy body,
yes,
germs will not replicate in that body. That would be the idea.
Right.
And there's a lot of truth to that.
Right.
So if you just say, well, I got to be germ free, well, you're not going to be able to do that because germs are always in your body.
Right.
And so if you sanitize all the time, that's kind of crazy. That's why they tell parents not to let their kids actually play in dirt, play around animals and all that, because it builds their immune system.
Okay.
So the idea is you want to be a host that's inhospitable to germs. So the rhinovirus is always around, but if your body is optimized, the rhinovirus can't multiply.
All right.
So that would be trained.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So that's
Bryan,
that's literally what the theory behind Pasteur's. That's the new age thinking around Pasteur's quote unquote regrets, which is also not true. But anyway,
this is really cool because we get to do a bell ringing very early on in the show. Sam, go ahead, scooch that over towards you.
What?
It was said that Pasteur's friend, a physiologist named Claude Bernard.
Yeah.
They were buddies.
Good friends.
Good friends. And on his deathbed, Pasteur admitted Bernard was right. The pathogen is nothing. The terrain is everything.
There we go.
No, there's probably a lot of truth to that.
Okay, the problem is there's a lot of truth because it's true, Bryan. That's why there's a Bryan. Here's a great statement. There's a lot of truth to truth. That's what basically happening.
The only issue is this: our immune system, when it hasn't seen something, for the first time, that's when you can die. So diseases throughout history. So the Native Americans just didn't have their immune systems had never seen
Bryan,
the kind of viruses
honestly,
and bacteria.
Bryan, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You are old.
Yeah.
That was my question. No. My real question is, were you there when that happened to the natives? Right? Were you there?
So that's a very dangerous.
What was that, kindergarten?
That's a very dangerous precedent.
No, it's not very dangerous because as I've studied this thing called conspiracy, where I've learned that people conspire, okay? I've learned that history is hidden from us, our true history.
The actual devastation of the Native American population wasn't just from bullets, though, right?
Well, I don't know what the actual devastation was because I don't know the actual story of who's here first.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't, Bryan.
Yeah, we do.
Bryan, did all the slaves come on ships? Can I ask you that?
A lot of slaves came on ships.
Did most of them?
Yes.
No, they weren't. Most of them were here.
Oh, you mean how many, the diaspora from Africa?
No.
What do you mean most of them were
We've already
here?
discussed this, right?
No, it's just you were winning and then
I am winning.
hard.
Yeah. Yes, Sam. So one of the things that no scholar who studies history, no scientist, no scholar, and
Bryan, why don't you go? What's known is no blogger, no.
No. I'm talking about historian. I'm talking about, historians exist, right?
Yeah. And where are they getting their history from,
scholars,
Bryan?
From many different sources.
Oh, okay.
From the writings of the time,
Right.
which we have a lot of.
Okay.
And from all kinds of things. Now, here's the thing, from archaeological evidence, from scientific evidence, but we do know that viruses and bacteria, pathogens,
we don't.
have rained havoc on human beings.
We don't.
As early as recorded history, we have plenty of evidence, and in fact, living evidence of people who are still in wheelchairs because of polio. And there are 1,000 examples of this. In fact, in today's world, we have cholera outbreaks, diphtheria outbreaks, all kinds of things. So people die all the time today of disease.
So Bryan,
measles.
Did we just go through a giant pandemic where we were told that all these people have COVID? You got COVID based on a test that doesn't test for COVID.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't,
Yes,
Bryan.
it does.
No,
Sam,
it doesn't.
You just talk a lot.
No, I don't,
No, you talk
Bryan.
a lot. So Sam, you just had a cold, right? You had a cold, right?
And why did I have a cold, Bryan?
You were exposed to it by your kids.
No.
What was it?
The reason I had a cold, Bryan, is because I'm underslept. I haven't slept enough.
understand.
I'm overstressed.
I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm eating like shit.
Okay.
All right. And I'm around people that are also doing the same.
I know, but
so our bodies kick off together. It's like, Bryan,
But
why do
doesn't mean
women's
that viruses don't exist? The virus
What?
got into your body.
No.
What made you sick?
What made me sick is that my immune system was off because, one more time, I haven't
But what
slept
made you
enough.
sick?
I'm overstressed. I
but Sam-
eat like shit.
Sam, but what's your body fighting when you get sick like that?
What's happening is that the bacteria levels are off in my body.
Not the virus levels?
No,
So there's no viruses.
no, I don't believe it.
Sam, do you know the difference between a virus and a bacteria?
Bryan, do you know what an exosome is?
Sam, do you know?
Do you know what an exosome
Do you
is?
know what an
Do
exosome
you
is?
know what an
Do you know what an exosome
Are you?
is?
Can you
Look
read?
up exosome. It's probably junk science, but let's just watch.
Oh,
this.
what?
Sam, do you know? Do you know?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Do you know the difference between a bacteria and a virus?
Do you know the difference between a virus and
Are
an
you going to
exosome?
answer my question by asking?
No,
me
no,
a
no.
question?
I'm asking the questions here. I'm the captain now.
You want to talk about fucking gaslighting?
It's
My
amazing.
God, that's yellow card.
What?
That's
That's not yellow
actually.
card.
That's quite annoying, actually.
Okay.
He can't debate. He gets afraid, and he has a lot of opinions, but he doesn't know the definitions.
You came in here with the virus thing. He can debate 500 things, and he can debate this thing, but this needs to be.
And I'm illiterate.
It's just ridiculous.
Well, then, once again, Your Honor, I would like to make a motion that he shuts up about viruses and science.
But you presented the question in bad faith.
Yeah,
I want him
exactly.
to say. I want him to say that he does believe in viruses because there's an entire body of scientific activity.
Pasteur said the soil is everything. You're wrong.
Thank you.
Pasteur is not the end all and be
Oh, look at this guy abandoning his boy suddenly. Look who's abandoning his boy.
Pasteur never said there weren't viruses or
He said the
or
pathogen
bacteria.
is nothing. The soil is everything.
Thank you, Bryan.
The exosome
Someday you'll realize that.
is a messenger particle that releases naturally from a
I have a great
cell.
question, Sam. So when you get MRSA, when you're rolling jujitsu,
Yeah.
what do they give you?
That's a great question. I'm going to ask some people about
What do
that.
they
I've
give
been
you?
thinking about that.
No, you don't have to
I've
ask
been thinking
anybody.
about
No, you don't
that.
have to ask anybody. Ask any jiu-jitsu guy, and you know what they'll tell you?
What?
No, non-scientists.
Yeah.
They'll tell you, I rushed to the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
When you get necritis, God forbid, or you get
Well, I think
MRSA.
it's also has to do with like some kind of strain.
Sir?
A
Sir?
str- a
Sir? It's because the MRSA gets on the mat.
No, we'll talk
and
about.
you've got
I
it
mean, I'm
rubbed
willing to
your
look into
skin.
this,
You've got
Bryan.
it rubbed
Bryan,
in your
this is
skin.
not the issue I hang my hat on.
Okay.
Okay.
As long as that's the case.
But Bryan, you know they've never isolated a virus, right? You know that, right? Bryan, you know that, right? You know that, right? You know they never isolated
don't even know what that
HIV.
means.
They never isolated.
You don't even know what that
they
means.
never isolated. Yes, I do
See if
know
they've
what
ever
that means,
isolated a
Bryan.
virus.
I do know what that means.
Look up, see if they've ever isolated a virus, whatever that means.
Oh, and by the way, please go to Google and ask that question because, you know, Google's giving the
You
good...
think people in Google are like, do not let them know
100%.
that viruses have never been isolated.
Oh, my
we at
God,
Google,
Bryan.
We at Google are part of the virus
Hey,
lie.
Dylan, listen to me. You want to get paid more? Ask Bryan for more money. But listen to me. What I want you to do, we got to start getting some guests on here. I'm bringing in that big guns. When you ready, bro?
But don't bring on dum-dums.
Dum-dums.
Yeah, who do research. It's
What
so
are you
funny.
talking about, Bryan?
Because I gave Whitney Webb a real fair shake.
But hold on, Bryan.
A real
Are
fair
you
shake.
about to commit blasphemy?
Well,
are you
Whitney-
about to...
Yeah, don't.
Don't
Whitney
do
loves-
it,
Whitney
Bryan.
loves-
Don't.
Whitney
Bryan,
sees a conspiracy in
don't
everything.
go there, white girl. Do not Do not.
Whitney
not.
sees a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff.
Oh my God. Will the show ever be the same? Will the show ever be the same?
I would love to get Whitney on. I would love it.
Oh, yeah. To what? Get your ass handed to you over and over again?
No, what Whitney would find is that there are a lot of like loose ends, moving parts, people
Brian,
with different motivations.
No, she wouldn't find that. What she'd find is...
I'm looking into this and I'm looking into that. Yeah, okay.
Nope. I have no clue. What episode is this? 234 still? I feel...
But there are so many ways to look at things, right?
You can look at evidence. Brian?
You can look at evidence.
Give me an example.
This person knew this person, therefore this must be
Brian,
true.
what you're saying right now is that Epstein, because that's really what she's been really going around talking about, her research into Epstein's vast blackmail empire.
Yes, I think
what
Epstein,
you're saying is it's not what. Okay,
I think the evidence.
Brian, hey, real quick, guys, welcome. Let's hear a moment of Brian Callen's thoughts on Epstein.
And then also really quickly, just because we're moving on, the SARS-CoV-2 has been isolated and its complete genome has been sequenced.
Okay, good for you. Of
course it has.
Oh yeah.
Of course it has.
All right.
I mean, Sam, like,
where'd you get that,
Sam,
bro?
you say these crazy things.
Where'd you get that?
Well, but
I've already sent you the paperwork. Okay. This guy's bringing me videos of Kelly Mullis saying it's not meant to check for that stuff. You guys are nuts. I'm fighting the retarded here.
This is twice I've run the bell. And
no, you're ringing the bell.
It's amazing.
It means nothing.
It's a Monday, and that sounds great.
It means
Your
nothing.
Honor, I won both things.
No, you won nothing.
Yeah, they both.
You won nothing.
Now, Epstein.
Tie ball game, Epstein.
Let's get to Epstein. I actually believe that Epstein was two things. I think Epstein was a Mossad agent.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. And I think he also worked for the CIA. Why? I think there was cross-pollination. It makes sense. Why? But mainly Mossad.
Okay.
So where did he get his wealth? We don't know. Where did he get his wealth?
Yeah, we do know.
Why was he protected by the FBI? Well, there was obviously some kind of lateral cooperation with other agents.
Right. So where does Whitney get it wrong?
Asset. No, I don't think she got that wrong.
Okay.
I don't think she got that wrong. So there's just too many weird moving parts with Epstein. Of course, they were using sexual blackmail. I mean, this just came out Wall Street Journal with fucking Bill Gates, right? They literally. Did you read that article on Bill Gates in the Wall Street Journal?
No.
I mean,
unless there's a pie chart, I'm not reading
this guy, apparently, he was being blackmailed.
Yeah.
They had sexual blackmail on him.
That's what they do on the
Israeli
album.
Foreign Intelligence.
Yeah.
It makes total sense that the Israeli Foreign Intelligence would use Epstein as
I love this.
Of course they would.
It's a big game.
And then what happens is you realize how deep Mossad's tentacles are into our own, not only intelligence apparatus, but also into
our government,
the government and the elites of the world.
Do you have a problem with dual citizenship?
I have a problem with dual citizenship if somebody is working in any capacity for the U.S. military, intelligence agencies.
How about the government?
Or any of that, and the government.
Do you think that you should be able to be a citizen of two countries?
I don't.
And be in our... I totally agree.
I don't.
Yeah.
I think that your loyalty is in question, and I think the potential for espionage is... Well, listen, we have Arnon Michlon, who is the biggest producer in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Is not only a proven Israeli spy who is getting nuclear secrets from the United States and passing them on to Israel. That is a known fact, and you don't have to take my word for it. Take Israeli media's word for it.
Yes, kind of like the dancing Israelis who said they were there.
Arnon Michlon right now is a huge producer. I think he's in Israel now, but he produced so many movies. He's the biggest producer in Hollywood.
Did he produce Soul Man? Because I love that movie. You couldn't do that movie today, right?
Do you know about Arnon Michlon?
Yeah.
It's astonishing.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
He is a straight-up Israeli spy. So there's no doubt that the preponderance of evidence, the craziest thing would think that Epstein wasn't a Mossad agent.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
The craziest thing would think that the Mossad wasn't smart enough to get very powerful people in compromising positions, so they had some advantage on them. The crazy thing would be to think that they wouldn't try to blackmail the richest man in the world so that they had access to his money.
Right.
So, this is what's really going on with someone like Bill Gates.
Gotcha.
Bill Gates was clearly going to that island, banging young hotties or whatever.
Yeah. Word.
Yeah.
Okay. So So, okay.
Yeah.
So where did Whitney get it wrong?
Well, Whitney tends to draw a lot of these sort of like connections with the Clintons and stuff like that.
Oh, you are so cute, bro. You are so
with assassination.
cute. You are so
dying,
cute. You are so cute. So, Bryan, do you think it's within the realm of possibility that one person could have about 60 friends kill themselves? Do you think that's possible?
Here's why I do think it's possible. I don't think.
Hold on, real quick. Play it because we're definitely going to fantasy land. If you okay, here we go.
Okay.
First of all, your 60 people is bogus. Why? Because they know so many people that you can draw these ridiculous conclusions.
Bryan, how many people do you think you know in your life?
A lot.
Okay, would you say it's 1,000? Like that you've met in your 70 years on this planet? How many people?
A lot.
Do you think you've met?
No, what I'm trying to say is I don't see how the Clinton administration would have ever, or the Clintons would ever benefited from actual murder.
What?
Instead of like just political ostracization.
What? Okay,
well, why
I gotta do this. Why would they? I'm sorry, Bryan, but I have to take these off because guess what? We're back at episode 0.
I love that. I think that's great.
This is episode 0. If I am sitting here and telling you how are the Clintons benefiting from murdering their political opponents?
Who was doing it?
What?
Who was taking a risk of going to jail for the rest of their life? Who was doing it? What do you mean murder? Who do the Clintons have?
Bryan, can I ask you, when was the last time a high-profile person went to, like politician or anybody involved in some operation out there, went to prison? When was it? I know when it is, but I'd like to hear you.
I'm saying murder. I'm talking about, you think that the Clintons have an assassination team? Where do they live?
Bryan, we go back to the question is, do you know anybody in that has almost 60 people who have committed suicide in their life? 60? 60.
Who are these 60? I mean, I have seen the videos, but this doesn't mean that they were really close to the Clintons.
Oh, man. Found a bunch of smoke here.
Let me see the smoke, you fuck. Google buries Clinton body count. Search engine accused of hiding negative stories during Hillary's campaign.
Why would they do that?
Why would they do that, Bryan?
Well, because they want Hillary in power because they agree with her politics and they didn't like Donald Trump. That's a fact.
Okay, all right.
And Bryan, I agree with that because you know why? 93% of all the people at Google who gave donations gave to Democrats.
Okay, can we see if there's any video that breaks down all the...
That was my fault. That was a bad thing to pull up because this is just a fact that they've slaughtered all these people. And
no, they didn't slaughter.
Yes, they slaughtered them. Oh, you mean the guy that was found hung with a fucking shotgun in his fucking shot to him? I mean, is that what you're talking about?
That could have easily been Mossad or someone, but I don't think that's Clinton.
Yeah, but Bryan, they all are connected to Clinton. You're just dismissing it.
Just for a second, please think about this. You're the governor.
Bryan, real quick, before you go into this, what you are saying is that these two people, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, have had the misfortune of being connected to 60 people that have suicided themselves. And Bryan, in the year 2019, 5 associates were found guilty of sex trafficking of children. So you're saying it's just bad luck?
I'm saying that the Clintons have never killed anybody and they don't run sex trafficking. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So let's just take this for a sec.
Okay.
It's important. Just for all the infants out there who believe in
Bryan, can we go into that?
Wait, let me ask you a question. I mean, really try to answer this.
All right.
Really try to answer this. What you say is going to matter in a court of law.
What court?
I don't know, but let's just say how would that work? Really, honestly, think about it. Does Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton have a phone number of a mafia guy? How do you think it works?
Oh, I'm sure there's a ton of just black ops
But wait,
people that they can get a hold of.
Okay, so black ops people. So are they giving them money? Is it a mercenary thing? How is this working?
I think there's a whole bunch of that. I think there's a bunch of people that realize if certain people come forward and talk, that it's bad for everybody. Hillary's literally said.
But wait,
this is a quote from Hillary Clinton. Okay. And I love this chart. Will you also look up Hillary saying, if I go down, half of Washington, D.C. is going down with me. This is a literal, maybe not literal quote, because I don't know if those were the exact words.
If I'm indicted, I'll take half of D.C. with me.
Yes.
Yeah,
this is real, Brian.
There is a lot of corruption in D.C. What I'm trying to say is this. I don't think that Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton, so you're talking about the highest crime where you go to jail for the rest of your life, where the FBI investigates and all that.
Oh,
So you're saying that the Clintons say they call somebody.
Yeah.
And they say, I want that guy dead. That guy calls like a team or some high level of
yeah. Or maybe it's not that. Maybe they have a code word going, hey, I think Bob likes Cheetos.
Yeah.
Okay. And whenever they hear Bob likes Cheetos, that means.
Also, Hillary Clinton didn't say that.
What?
I know she didn't.
What?
If I'm indicted, I'll take half of DC with me.
Sam,
She didn't say that.
Oh, how do you know?
Because it's bullshit, Sam.
No, it's
and you're
not.
just believing what you see on TikTok.
It's not.
Stop getting your news from TikTok. And stop getting your news from IHateBillClinton.com.
Brian.
And stop getting your news from YouTube. I'm begging you to stop with YouTube.
I love you so much,
I am begging
Brian.
you to read a book.
I'm so thankful
begging you
that
to
you
read
are
like some credible
blissfully
journalists.
ignorant
Look at my
and do not
look at my
read.
eyes are closed. I'm
Eyes are
exhausted.
closed.
Because I'm begging him. And I'm begging him with all my Jesus Christ energy. Because I love him. But I want him to be educated.
Yeah, Brian.
He's not. But he's full of opinion. Now I'm a ring. Now listen, Sam. You'd have to pay
Brian,
these assassins.
Brian, what you're
Where
talking
does that
about-
money?
Read anything either.
Huh?
What?
We pitched so many books to you. You don't read anything.
I
I don't read anything.
Because I read The Pale Horse. It's the worst book of all time.
Brian, I'm
The Pale Horse
embarrassed for you.
Is the worst.
I'm embarrassed
dumbest book.
for you.
And that guy was crazy.
No, you're
and
crazy,
in fact,
Brian.
went into a schizophrenic rage and got shot by the cop.
Oh, so it's his fault now.
Well, when you read this book, you go, "Oh, you're crazy." And it's not even written like a good movie. It's like, oh, the captain got super mad when I even mentioned that a UFO came out of the sea. His face got red, the veins in his neck. Oh, God. The captain had a reason to keep that secret.
So hot garbage. You're
He had a
so
reason.
hot
I
gar-
command the
Brian,
ship, and you will not talk about this again. Yes, UFO came out of the sea. Nothing to see here. I tell you, court martial, you better not write a book.
You're just ridiculous.
Haven't he wrote a book? We have to kill him now.
I can't
Let's go make
see
it look like an accident. He knows too much. We'll have to buy up all the books.
Hold on, Brian. You know he was assassinated by the government, right? You know that, right?
Of course. After he wrote that book about a giant UFO coming out of the sea, we're going to be sunk. I tell you, we'll be sunk. Someone go kill him. Send the local
Brian, he
law
literally
enforcement.
was shot in the back by the
Send the
government.
local law enforcement
Brian, he
there.
was shot in the back by the
Yes.
government. He was
Well-
literally shot in the back by the government.
We'll have an assassin go through the police training program in that local
Brian,
municipality.
tell me how Brian, real quick. I want to hear your Lifetime channel for retarded women's version, okay, of what happened with the Branch Davidian. Can I hear that story for you? Like, get into it. I want to hear what happened there from Brian Callen's point of view.
The FBI and Ruby Ridge and Waco clearly behaved in I think it was alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, ATF. I think, and FBI, they did a terrible job.
Okay.
And they should be.
Now, Brian,
they
do
should be
you
ashamed.
think, Brian, when
And
you
they
say
are
you did a
ashamed.
terrible job, do you think that it just didn't go the way they wanted it to and it just got out of hand?
Yes. It was a bunch of macho guys who said, "Oh, we have this guy's got young
Brian-
underage girls there, and they're dealing with weapons, and they're dealing with weapons. They're amassing weapons.
Okay.
And they geared up, and they go, "This is our chance to go be." And instead of going in there doing it the right way, they went in there guns blazing.
Oh, okay. So,
And
Brian,
that's
let
what
me ask you something. A kind-hearted human being like yourself, right? Let's say as a kind-hearted human being like yourself, okay?
Yeah.
If a situation happens where a bunch of people died because the plan didn't get executed the way you had hoped, fingers crossed, that it had worked out that way. Right. Do you think, Bryan, after it, when everything, the fire is still simmering, do you think you would take pictures of yourself in front of said accident where people, and particularly children, had died? Do you think you would take pictures of this incredibly horrible moment where you and your friends' plans went so awry that it just didn't work out and people unfortunately died? Do you think you'd take pictures of yourself in front of that?
No.
Okay, because they did, the ATF and the FBI.
I understand, but they've gotten a lot of shit for that because they behaved.
Yeah, but Bryan, what Bryan, what you don't understand, Bryan, is your common theme with you on here on episode 0 of Conspiracy Social Club. Okay, is that you always think the plan just didn't work out. Unfortunately, but somehow the people who made the plan that didn't work out get all the money and get all the power. That's what you think.
How they got all the money and power with Waco? Waco embarrassed the FBI and the ATF.
The Waco didn't embarrass them. It went exactly the way they wanted to. They sent a fucking message to everybody is fuck around and find out. That's what the message was to everybody. Fuck around and find out.
I would agree with that. I would agree with there are people in the FBI who said, let's teach these Branch Davidians a lesson.
The Branch Davidian people tried to be like, hey, man.
I agree.
Let's just we'll come out. Nope.
Agree. But
fuck around, find out.
Yeah, but Sam, that is not that uncommon to have a bunch of dudes with testosterone, Velcro, and guns.
So, Bryan, but the question is this. If you think that Janet Reno, if you think he could, okay, allow this to happen where many people died, right? And what almost you're saying is this was almost planned. If you're sitting there saying that, but you can't think that the Clintons, who are almost at the highest level of power, couldn't kill off 60 people that have information that could lead to them getting in trouble?
I think Waco, and you can see it on tape, Waco was these guys come in, just like they did with Ruby Ridge. They're crawling in, armed to the teeth. They surround the place. We're going to go ambush. And the guy goes, I have a right to defend myself. He sees these guys coming in. He's like, fuck this. He shoots back, kills one of the guys. Kills one of the FBI guys or ATF guys.
Okay.
Boom. All hell breaks loose. Now they board up, fuck you, and now there's a standoff. Now guess what? Yeah. The ATF is armed to the teeth, and they're like, oh yeah? All right, now we're going in. We're going to war. And what happened?
That's what you believe too, Dylan?
Yeah, but that is great. What happened. You know what happened?
Sounds great.
You know what happened with Ruby Ridge?
Yeah, Bryan, tell me about Ruby Ridge.
They're dressed in their, all black, stuff. And they're crawling. All they could have done, Randy Weaver was supposed to have had illegal guns. They could have easily... And he was like, there was all this talk about him being a separatist and all. They could have easily gone in there, or they could have arrested him when he was on his way to the bank or anything. It was very easy. They didn't even try that.
That's not what happened, though, Bryan.
What they did is they had 6, 7 guys belly crawling. The kid, Randy Weaver's son, is outside with his rifle. He's just minding his own business. He's like, what the fuck are these people? If you saw like 6 dudes coming into your fucking house on your property, belly crawling with weapons, this kid was like, they're trying to kill me, my family. He shoots him. He gets shot and killed. Then... Do you know
why they were going after him?
Because
they gave him the wrong court date, purposefully. So he didn't show up to his court. So the government is like, okay, fuck it, man, shoot to kill. And they gave orders to shoot to kill anybody, adults and children.
Well, that's not true. It's not true.
That is true.
It's not how it happened. However, I will say this. They shot, they under the guise that Randy Weaver was setting up a smoke screen, which is outrageous. His wife was holding their baby in the fucking window, and that sniper killed that woman. Shot her right with the baby in her hands. She was not armed. And to me, that sniper, I'm sorry, and I respect the police, and I support the police and the FBI, but that sniper is a stain on the FBI's reputation, and I think that guy should have gone to jail, and he didn't.
Okay.
I thought that was fucked up. So there are fuck-ups, man. And part of the fuck-up comes when you get macho, gung-ho people in positions of power who are like, let's send a message, right? You get that with prosecutors. It's government overreach. It's government abuse of power.
So
it's as old as this country. And Americans, when they hear about Ruby Ridge, a lot of Americans like me, like you, and a lot of good Americans, when they hear Waco, they get pissed for a reason. But I don't think it was a conspiracy. I think it was government overreach and macho people. And
it's just
ends in tragedy.
Bummer. Now.
What?
Just that it's all kind of a bummer.
I'm sorry that I'm winning. First of all, I'm sorry I look this good.
Nothing.
I'm sorry I look this good, and I'm winning.
Taking L's.
You look great. Sam won that one.
What? I've won everything.
Because
you haven't won one thing today. You haven't won nothing. Next story.
Yeah, let's move on. That sucked, Bryan.
Yeah, you sucked. You sucked the air out.
What?
You can't believe you're pro FBI. Unbelievable.
What?
All right.
Of course, I'm pro law enforcement.
If I'm going to bring this up, can we just promise each other that we're going to be respectful, please?
I promise you.
As long as he
I promise you.
No, there can't be any caveats. We have to be
promise
respectful.
you. I will show respect to the best of my ability.
Bryan?
Go ahead.
All right.
YouTube reverses misinformation policy allowing electoral denialism.
Okay.
It's very interesting that they did that. Why would they do that?
Why would they do that, Bryan? Let's go through your lizard brain and find out why your lizard friends would do that.
Sam, do I have a penchant for flies? Yes, but that doesn't mean I'm a lizard. Why would YouTube reverse misinformation policy? Can you read that? It's interesting.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Sorry, I was just writing down that was a great cold open, so I just had to make a note of that really quick.
Thank you. Why, Bryan?
I'm very impressed with YouTube that they seem to. I mean, the thing about people that say YouTube's so left leaning, so many right wing people make a fortune on YouTube, right? Don't they? YouTube algorithm will give you exactly what you want.
So you look at that story, you go, "Bravo, YouTube." Is that what you're saying right now?
I don't think YouTube is as big a boogeyman as people think. I think.
What are you talking about?
YouTube barely makes as much money with right wing content as they do left wing content. Let's put it that way.
Well, Bryan, I have this belief that in 2015 everything changed. Just everything, the political landscape. The relationship between the elites and the population completely changed.
Axios asked YouTube to speak on this, like the Sauron's eye that they are. They said that it carefully deliberated this change, but didn't provide further examples of what factors or instances considered when weighing its decision.
So I think that the reason they are opening this is because they don't want Joe Biden running again.
Oh, I agree with you.
I don't think they want him out there.
I agree with you.
I think they think he's a lost cause.
They've been trending President Harris too. I agree.
Well, you know that in 2015 that not 2015, in about 2018, a friend of mine was a sober companion to a elite escort who said she used to smoke rock with Hunter Biden, and he laid down the whole plan that they were going to get his dad in, throw his dad under the bus, and put Camel Toe Harris in.
I'm going to say this. I want to hear what you have to say about this. I will say this. I do think 100%, and maybe I know, that there are Democratic operatives. There are people who are shadow operatives, people who are sympathetic to, and very anti-Trump and very sympathetic to the progressive cause, that have allies deep within tech who also share their same ideology.
Right.
And they will call up the brass at YouTube and say, hey, here's how to get Harris in power and Trump out of power, and here's the long play. I do think that happens. So that is a bit of a conspiracy.
Yeah, people are conspiring.
So here are the things I agree with you on.
Okay.
One, Moloch.
You agree with me?
That somehow we're in a race to the bottom.
He says that, but I don't think that he understands.
The Molochian phenomenon where we are racing to the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Filters on Instagram, the way that guy described it,
right. But what does Molochian mean to you?
Molochian would mean we're all trying to outdo each other.
No. It means the worship of Moloch. That's the answer.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
Is the worship of Moloch.
Yes. The god of mischief, the god of destruction.
The god of child sacrifice.
Well, okay, but maybe not.
See, this is that's what it is, though. So when you say that you are on this, that you're not actually.
Yeah, either you're in or you're out, bro.
Yeah. Well, I like Moloch.
What?
But I like this too. No, I like your theory on Moloch.
Okay.
I like this too. I like and I agree that somehow the powers that be get us to look in this direction at a fake boogeyman.
I love that.
And there is a much bigger boogeyman.
So, Brian, what you're trying to say is that you think everything is an intelligence operation. Bang! Episode 0 is we're saving this plane from crashing, bro.
Yep.
This guy believes people worship Moloch and everything is an intelligence psyop.
Let's say this.
My work here is done.
Let's say this. I'm more sympathetic to something in that area.
Okay, I like
I'm
that.
more sympathetic to the idea that there is a lot more than meets the eye in general. But here's what I actually really think about. Here's what I always think about.
Okay, I'm listening.
I think it's kind of
fun and festive.
Well, what I think is kind of astonishing that none of us have really picked up on.
Okay, I'd like to hear this, that none of us have picked up on.
In 2001, before 9/11,
yeah,
if I had told you that everything you did, everything and
you know, it'd be really great right now if we could hear the winds of change whistles as he talks.
But if I told you, Sam, that everything you did 24/7, could be and would be not only recorded but filmed.
Yeah.
Everywhere you went.
What year is this?
2001.
And
you would say, fuck off. Like what? I'd say there's going to be a camera everywhere. Okay. But the Patriot Act was the birth of the surveillance state. Well,
so you talking to Sam 2023, or are you talking to Sam 2001?
2001, I'm talking to anybody in 2001.
Okay. Yeah.
Any American.
Yeah.
And you said, "Hey dude, we're going to be living in a surveillance state.
Yeah.
Beyond what you can imagine and beyond anything that's been in a movie."
Yeah.
They're going to have facial recognition.
Yeah.
They're going to have all of your biometrics.
Yep.
They're going to be able to see you, find you, track you everywhere. They will be tracking you. And everything you do, from your eating habits to your shopping habits to your sleeping habits to your personal habits, are in a database and are being sold everywhere all the time. And you can be found, tracked, and captured at any minute, at any time, always, constantly. And oh, by the way, the state not only is watching you from the sky, but from traffic cams, from ring cams and everything. They also have and working on a mother camera that's going to be able to take your image from anywhere and bring it into a central database and give the powers that be that location. That's a reality right now.
Yeah.
We have been looking over here this whole time while our total and complete lack of privacy has occurred.
Yes.
And that we are now, there is no privacy. There is no freedom. There isn't. Your phone that you have in your house, your Alexa, your television, right now can be and is,
my ADT
is being
system.
used, even if it's turned off, even if the battery's out, can be used to listen to you.
Yeah.
Okay?
I agree.
That's shocking. And none of us really care. And I'll tell you why we don't care. The good news is somehow it hasn't so much impeded what we do.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Well, so far it hasn't impeded much of what we do, because maybe that was the price we were willing to pay to keep safe from a mushroom cloud over a European or American or any city.
Oh, that's what it's being sold as,
Maybe.
you know.
Maybe.
There was a time, one of the big stories that came out a long time ago was that the CIA, John Brennan, was talking about how this whistleblower came out and said that the CIA was now able to hack anywhere, at any time. And they could take anything they wanted, take it, and then present it as information got out by a hacker, a Russian hacker, a Chinese hacker, which is exactly what Russiagate was, right? Like, it wasn't real, didn't happen, but they got presented it as Russia hacked into the thing, and it didn't happen. They used it to spy on an incoming president, which should be a scandal bigger than Watergate. But they have a so fraction now that nobody cares, right? It should be bigger than Watergate, but it's not. So you're totally right, Brian. Like I really question, hand to God, this story about this laptop, Hunter Biden's laptop, being found in a computer repair store where he just has all of this information and he leaves it there. Yeah, he why? Oh, should I go get the computer?
Was he high or something or what?
Well, of course he's high, but like the question is that the real story, or is that the story being presented? And is this just like the CIA just has all of Hunter Biden's information and they're throwing him out because they want to eventually get Joe Biden out? Because Joe Biden's just a useless brand for them at this point. Because, there's multiple Bidens, right?
What happened with the Hunter Biden laptop did he leave it there and the guy was like, I have this laptop? What was that?
And that guy was blind.
What?
That guy was blind.
What do you mean?
The computer repair guy was blind.
He's blind. The guy that fixed computers is blind?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, he's blind.
I don't think so.
How does he own a computer repair store?
Do we know
if
the
he's
story?
Blind?
So Hunter Biden left the computer there?
Yeah.
And then he was trying to find Hunter Biden to return it?
No, I don't know the story.
That's Hunter Biden's property. So how did it end up in law enforcement?
So somebody just dropped everything that was on Hunter Biden's laptop on a website. Word is he had to take it down because he was hosting kiddie porn because there was so much gross shit on there.
In October 2020, a controversy emerged involving data from a laptop that belonged to Hunter Biden that was abandoned at a Delaware computer shop in 2019. John Paul Mac Isaac, the shop owner, said that the laptop was left by a man who identified himself as Hunter Biden. Mac Isaac is legally blind and was unsure whether the man was actually Hunter Biden.
That's interesting, too.
3 weeks before the 2020 presidential.
What a weird story, right? I didn't know he's blind.
And
that's
then,
even
did Hunter
weirder.
Not come back with it, or did this guy look at his computer and say, "Hey, there's weird shit on here"?
Well, how could he's blind?
You don't leave your thing there for 3 weeks. They fix it before then, I would imagine.
It's a weird story, bro. So was it even Hunter Biden? Because if you go, okay, dude, we got this computer store. This guy's blind. Let's walk in, give him and say, hey, I'm Hunter Biden. Here's my computer. Fix it. I'll be back in 2 days, and then never come back.
Yeah, so obviously it was a clandestine thing, but who do you think did it? Do you think it was the left or the right?
That's a great question. That's
winds of change.
More on this later. Can we move on to a really important story?
Okay.
Ireland is going to slaughter 200,000 cows.
So I've been sending you guys, Dylan, have I been sending you it? Like, there's so much information now that climate change and the whole push of climate change is a giant psyop to destroy humanity. Think about this.
See, I think that climate change, the idea of killing 200,000 cows is going to change going to make the globe cooler is the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. And this is a bunch of busybodies in government.
Busybody.
Nothing to do.
That's what they're doing?
Nothing to do. Just like these gender people. They're like, we have to cool the planet and make sure everybody's a they. And it's like, dude, well, you don't have a real job, and you don't have. This is fucking. We're gonna make the climate change. I'm a hysteric. You're not gonna. You can't do a thing.
Have you ever seen the video of Al Gore and Kerry? And it's 2009.
You know what?
What?
I feel a little crummy right now. Did you guys want to keep talking about the Hunter Biden thing? Because I feel like I kind of prematurely ejaculated that whole thing.
No, because we don't know.
Okay. Yeah, we do know. Okay. I feel like it's a done story.
Okay, so you think that climate change is a boogeyman a la communism used to justify anything, a.k.a. killing JFK?
What I believe is that pollution happens. There's pollution. And I believe that they herd us into these giant cities to give the illusion of overpopulation, when in reality, we're having a depopulation problem. And I see you, little shit starting trickster over there with your eyebrows dancing like you're up to no good. What do you set me up for?
No, I'm not.
No, I see you're about to set me up.
No, I'm not.
You're the worst poker player ever.
I'm not playing poker. I'm just trying to switch the cameras.
I 100% believe that if you really study all these scientists coming out right now, they're like humans do like 0.4% of the carbon that is in our atmosphere. Like, dude, we're not the problem.
So interesting. 65,000 cows. There's more steak for everybody. We're doing pretty well here. We seem to have an abundance of milk and meat. Thank God. Thank you, factory farming.
What's going on?
Yeah, I just think this climate change stuff is hilarious to me.
I think it's like tragic, bro.
It's busybodies. It's busybodies.
So I tweeted this the other day. Have you noticed that traveling on plane is getting worse and worse and worse? Like the services.
You know what France just did, right? Do you know what France just did?
Well, yeah. This is what I'm getting into. Like, they don't want you flying. Like, they want you to not leave your 15-minute city. That's what they really want. They want you to stay in your 15-minute city where they can control all the information that goes to you.
They want you on a train if it's less than 2.5 hours away. So France said, if you can get there by 2.5 hours by train, then there's no reason to fly. And so they're trying to ban all short flights.
All of our leaders are flying everywhere all the time.
John Kerry emitted 350,000 metric tons of pollution with his private plane.
Yeah, I mean, it's so obvious that this is a depopulation.
He said he's going to offset that with his work to curb climate change.
He is so full of shit, that skull and cross, skull and bones piece of shit.
There's nothing else for them to do. It's like
it goes back to Moloch, bro. This is Molochian. This is all about destroying humanity.
Well, also, what I get a kick out is science and technology is what's going to create a cleaner environment. It already is. It's not John Kerry with his passing of dumb laws and killing cows. It's so fucking idiotic. It's like your dumb idea of culling 200,000 cows is not going to make one shred of difference when it comes to climate change. It's not going to make the globe cooler. That's adorable.
Right.
It's adorable.
Right.
You want to start talking about maybe pollution? Let's talk to India and China. Let's talk to them about their coal burning,
which you'll never do. You'll never.
You don't worry.
That's why the Paris.
The U.S. has been fine forever, but
that's why the Paris climate change.
Kyoto
Paris.
Protocol.
Yeah, it was just complete bullshit. It's a money laundering,
but it's also a reason for a bunch of rich elites to get together and be cool and do something.
Yeah, but Bryan, they have more sinister intentions than hanging out and looking cool.
Their sinister intentions are, we know better than you.
No, Bryan, their sinister intention is pain and suffering.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
you can't say you believe. It's so interesting. You're like, I believe it's Molochian.
Wait, want people
just because women put filters on their pictures on Instagram.
Wait, what do you mean? You want people? They want people just to be generally in pain?
Pain and suffering.
Why?
Because they feed off that. They're fucking energy vampires.
Sam.
Bryan.
Can you not get crazy?
No, Bryan.
Do you think you cannot get crazy, though?
And here we are, back to zero.
Yeah.
No, it's just people.
Back to zero, Bryan.
Sam, what are they feeding off? They're watching people
they're
moan
energy vampires.
And they're like, oh.
Yeah.
Do they have a big tube that they put from their tower?
Yeah.
And they go, and they breathe their breath?
Yes. Yes.
So do they want to breathe your dying breath?
Yes. There you go. Get it?
They want to jar it up.
They feed off our negative energy. They are energy vampires.
Really?
Yes. All the elites, these fucking lizard people, aka your babysitters. Okay.
But this is so dumb and also not true.
It's
no, dude.
I just mean it's dumb and not true. That's all I'm trying.
Why?
Because of course that's nothing, and it's not what happened.
It's so interesting,
It's
Bryan,
people have arrogance and bad ideas and the hubris to try to restructure the Middle East.
Bryan, it's so funny because, like, in a weird way, you know, you're like a lot of these people that are super black pilled. Yeah. That everything's a black pill. Like, you're the opposite. Like, you're getting fisted with white pills, right? Of stupid. Okay, and that's what's going on. But you guys are just like, you know, the black pill people are like, they want to kill us off. They want to do all this. And you go to them, well, why would they want to do that? Because they make more money off if there's more of us. If there's more, hold on. If there's more of us, they could tax us more. They could, you know.
He.
What are you doing?
I'm going to read you something.
He got disinterested.
No, I'm going to read you something. But keep going, because Sam, what I wish you would do.
So I'm going to finish this statement. I don't give a fuck if you're disinterested. So all these people that are black pilled, it doesn't make sense that if the elites just want to get rich and powerful, why would they want less of us? Why would you want more power, less people? You want more power with more people so you can make more money off more people. Right. So that doesn't make any sense. What does make sense is this is a spiritual war, and this is demonic, and their goal and their joy is depopulation and destroying humanity. That's their goal. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Not what their goal
Bryan,
is.
you're retarded.
Historically, people have an idea of how to make the world either a better place, a utopia, or whatever. So they have twisted ideas. But it's not that they just want to watch it. Listen to this. I think this is the speech. Hold on.
They preach the supremacy of the state, declare its omnipotence over individual man, and predict its eventual domination of all peoples on the earth. They are the focus of evil in the modern world. It was C.S. Lewis who, in his unforgettable Screwtape letters, wrote, "The greatest evil is not done now in those sordid dens of crime that Dickens loved to paint. It is not even done in concentration camps and labor camps. In those, we see its final result. But it is conceived and ordered, moved, seconded, carried, and minuted.
Should he be playing this?
Carpeted, warmed, and well-lighted offices.
This is so important. Listen to this. I want you to listen to this. I'm going to send this to you.
Okay.
It's important.
Let's just listen to Ronald Reagan tell us about.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the sell of that guy.
Oh,
it's like, suck my dick.
Well, this is C.S. Lewis, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot.
Play it, you son of a bitch.
Hey, dude. This is a work environment. We got to keep it professional.
Winds of change.
Oh.
All right, dude. All right, so the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go. It's only 2 minutes. It's really important.
All right. They preach the supremacy of the state, declare its omnipotence over individual man, and predict its eventual domination of all peoples on the earth.
Turn it up, please.
They are the focus of evil in the modern world. It was C.S. Lewis who, in his unforgettable Screwtape letters, wrote, "The greatest evil is not done now in those sordid dens of crime that Dickens loved to paint. It is not even done in concentration camps and labor camps.
Listen to this, Sam.
In those, we see its final result. But it is conceived and ordered, moved, seconded, carried, and minuted in clear, carpeted, warmed, and well-lighted offices by quiet men with white collars and cut fingernails and smooth-shaven cheeks who do not need to raise their voice. Well, because these quiet men do not raise their voices, because they sometimes speak in soothing tones of brotherhood and peace, because like other dictators before them, they're always making their final territorial demand, some would have us accept them at their word and accommodate ourselves to their aggressive impulses. But if history teaches anything, it teaches that simple-minded appeasement or wishful thinking about our adversaries is folly. It means the betrayal of our past, the squandering of our freedom. So I urge you to speak out against those who would place the United States in a position of military and moral inferiority. You know, I've always believed that old Screwtape reserved his best efforts for those of you in the church. So in your discussions of the nuclear freeze proposals, I urge you to beware the temptation of pride, the temptation of blithely declaring yourselves above it all, and label both sides equally at fault, to ignore the facts of history and the aggressive impulses of an evil empire, to simply call the arms race a giant misunderstanding, and thereby remove yourself from the struggle between right and wrong and good and evil.
I liked Ronald Reagan.
I mean, what did you just make us watch?
You made us
What you
watch.
just
So let
make
me
us
say
watch?
for you kids, because you guys don't understand anything. What he was saying is that the real evil is conceived in well-lighted rooms, carpeted with smooth cheeks.
No,
clipped
Brian.
fingernails.
So he's basically gaslighting
bad
everybody
ideas, bad ideas,
into not believing that
bad
we shouldn't get in
ideas.
a fucking arms race with Russia.
Whether we won that arms race, my friend. We won that arms
It was
race.
a
And
big lie,
we
Brian.
brought
The whole
Russia
thing
to
was a
We
lie.
brought Russia to their knees. The Afghanis might disagree with that, but I appreciate you thinking that
No matter how hard I work,
Soviet aggression
I will
and expansion,
never make a dent
Soviet
in that dense.
Soviet aggression and expansion was a lie?
What, Brian?
Soviet aggression?
Brian, they were never going to be able to keep up with us in an arms race. They never had the capabilities to do that at all. We used them as a boogeyman to increase military spending. We scared our population into thinking it was okay to spend infinite billions and gazillions of dollars on a war that was never going to happen.
Couldn't be more wrong.
Oh, Brian.
It's adorable.
Brian.
You are adorable.
Oh, Brian.
So
you are so cute.
So as the Soviet Union expanded, and as it took people over and didn't let them leave, as it initiated its Politburo top-down tyranny, the United States.
Brian, can I ask you something?
Listen, guys, there is a war, a cold war between communism and capitalism, freedom and oppression, and we will force them to compete in an arms race. The Soviet economy, one crop economy, cannot keep up with the incredible economy of the United States.
Oh my God! Do you hear what he's saying right now?
The dissolution of the Soviet Union, Sam,
Does
by
anyone
their own
hear what
admission,
he's saying?
the dissolution of the Soviet
Does
Union by their own
anybody hear
admission,
what he's saying?
by their own admission is we couldn't keep up with the United States military machine. It bankrupted us. The Soviet Union
And you're
fell
saying,
apart.
and what you're
Thank
saying,
you.
Brian.
Thank you, Ronald Reagan.
Do you want to salute? There we go. Yep. He's saluting the smooth-cheeked.
Say,
damn
can
it.
you,
Brian,
see
you are so cute.
by the
You are so gross. It's cute.
light? Oh, and so proudly we hail.
This is the worst. Just when you didn't think we could hit rock bottom, we've hit it here. So Brian just gleefully, patriarchally beat his meat.
I'm a patriot.
To the notion
I'm a patriot.
that we outspent them militarily to crush them.
Nobody disagrees with that.
Brian,
No one disagrees with
Brian,
that.
do you think it's worked out
one
really
disagrees
well
with
for us, Brian? Do you think it's worked out really well
Yes,
for
it
us?
has.
Oh, really? So spending 50 cents of every dollar on the military is done well for us?
Yes.
Oh my God, Brian.
Yes,
Oh
well,
my.
How do you debate that?
How am I still here?
Well, compared to, but Sam,
How am I still here?
Sam, compared to what?
What am I doing?
Sam, compared to what? The average Soviet citizen? The average Ukrainian citizen? The average
Brian,
Polish
see, here's
citizen?
your freaking problem, Brian.
I'm just comparing
Is
it.
like
The average British citizen?
the George Bush death cult, okay, came in around the 50s, right? And an established,
I'm not
system.
listening to George Bush death cult stuff again.
No,
Dude,
Your Honor?
Dude, that's technically speaking, that's the second yellow card, so you have to have a 30-second timeout.
Thank you.
Oh my
you.
God,
That's crazy,
Thank
man.
you.
I hate that call, quite honestly.
I think
can't
it's
stand that
ridiculous.
call.
But, you know-
alas, it must begin now.
Yeah, and so I'm so glad I have this moment to just say this. The fact of the matter is, Sam would rather be an American citizen over any other citizen, and it seems to me that our standard of living is higher than anything he could ever have hoped for if he was in any other country. Now, I'm not saying that Argentinians and people don't know how to live. But you got to be happy with being an American. Seconds. The freedom you have to speak your mind, the freedom you have to make your own money, and all those things. So at the end of the day, say thank you, Sam. Don't talk about science, and listen to the things I have to say, because I am here
okay, time's up.
to try to educate you.
Bryan. Are you trying to say here on the show that we live a wonderful life because of Ronald Reagan? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
I am here to say that the standards that Ronald Reagan upheld, the constitutional standards,
okay,
and the idea that there is good and evil, and the idea that there is an evil should be fought against
Bryan,
tooth and nail, are good
in
values.
terms of the world,
and ultimately,
who has committed more atrocities against the world, the United States or Russia?
Russia.
Oh my God, guys! Today's show.
Right, Sam, are you saying the U.S. commits a lot of atrocities? I do think that our involvement in Vietnam was pretty fucking.
Keep going.
Awful. I think our invasion of Iraq was
keep
not
going.
a good thing. But overall,
keep going.
Well,
just keep going.
I think
keep going.
Just keep going.
The war in Afghanistan,
what we did to Latin America, what we did to the Middle East, what we're doing to the Ukraine.
Could you also say that it's what the Latin America did to Latin America?
No, Bryan.
No? Could you say that the Soviet Union's influence was also a factor?
No, Bryan.
So that we fought proxy wars with the Soviet Union during the Cold War. But to put everything on the United States, I think, is unfair.
Bryan,
Bryan. Wouldn't you say, Sam?
Ronald Reagan told you not to do that in that speech.
And Sam, would you say this? Let me ask you this.
No, I got to go.
Would you say that communism as an end goal is worse than free markets and democracy?
Yeah, but Bryan, do you understand something?
Would you say
that free market was
that Latin America is closer
here before Ronald Reagan? Do you understand what you're giving credit to Ronald Reagan was established way before his old ass came around, okay? Yeah. So this was established in 1776, and it's been slowly but surely, they've been whittling away at our freedoms. And the capitalism we have today isn't the capitalism that was established many fucking years ago, okay?
I agree.
So don't say Ronald Reagan's fucking bullshit nuclear arms race has kept our freedoms and our fucking capitalism alive, because it's a lie.
Well, you're simplifying my
No,
argument.
I'm not, Bryan.
The problem is my arguments are so layered and so nuanced.
No, Bryan, enough.
Damn it.
And they're so deep.
Bryan, what I'm saying
I'm
is,
just saying that
I'm just giving you a yellow card for stupidity.
I gotta
Can
remember,
I give a yellow for stupid?
No, I gotta remember that in this podcast.
And a red. There we go. And a red.
Okay, hold on.
Whoa,
Here's my mea culpa. Let me.
You got 30 seconds.
Let me apologize.
No,
let me apologize.
No,
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Shut the fuck up. Okay?
Starts now.
So basically what happened was a bunch of Freemasons established a fucking country in 1776. We signed a declaration which established this country and a certain laws which we were follow, which allowed a earlier form of capitalism to form. Seconds. But over time, and particularly around the 1950s, when the Molochians came in and took over, they've been chipping away with this. So Bryan thinks that us spending 50 cents on the dollar has allowed our standard of living to fucking be better, when in reality, we're decaying because we're spending money everywhere else instead of fucking here. And cities like San Francisco, LA, Chicago, Philadelphia are being destroyed by Molochian fucking politics, while our money is being sent everywhere else and being fucking money laundered back into these fucking lizard people's fucking coffers. So that's where we're at.
I want to apologize to everyone, including Sam. I have to remember in this podcast that I need to stay in first gear, and sometimes I go into second and sometimes even third gear, and that's not fair because I got to keep my guns holstered. And I keep my pocket knife out and dull. Now, the idea that I would even pull out my machete that I keep, holstered
How many
in my
weapons
back.
do you have?
A lot of weapons. I'm chock full of weapons. The way Dunkin' Donuts is chock full of nuts, I'm chock full of weapons. And
You're like Xena.
yeah, and I apologize for getting.
No,
a
you're
little
more
out
like
of-
Zima.
I shouldn't step out of first gear. It's not fair to Sam. He doesn't have the background. He doesn't have the scholarly acumen, and I just want to know. I want everybody to know that I enjoy getting kicked around a little bit by a couple of fucking political, philosophical, and historical infants.
Brian,
not their fault.
you are a
Not their fault.
potard, okay? That's a political retard. You're a potard, okay?
Your Honor, fucking.
Chill out, Sam.
He's
Come
using
on, man.
the R word, and I'm just not going to deal with this shit.
Why? I can't say the R word? All
All
right.
right, guys.
think-
Thanks so
Guys,
much.
I'm going to be in San Diego this weekend. Come see me. Go to
I'll be everywhere.
samtribly.com.
BryanCallen.com.
I'll see Brian tomorrow night or tonight. I guess he's not going to put out a flyer for it. How are people going to know about the show? I just don't understand it. All right. Guys, oh yeah, Comedy Chaos is next Tuesday as well. samtribly.com.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, tomorrow, is this going to air tomorrow?
There's today.
Guys, Sam and I are at Venice West in Venice. Me, Sam Tripoli, Eddie Bravo, Brendan Schaub, and Jeff Dye, and maybe another special guest.
Can we get a flyer?
I'm getting a flyer right now.
Jesus.
Tonight?
Tonight. Well, no, tomorrow night.
Let's go tomorrow night.
Tuesday night.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Go. It'll be fun.
Yeah, Tuesday night. Venice West on Lincoln in Venice. Venice West Studio.
Bye, everybody.
When people ask, is everything a conspiracy? The answer is yes.
Who and what is controlling everything and why? They practice sorcery. I can't argue against magic.
I don't know what it is that we live on, but I believe it's a realm. This realm that we live in is the lowest level of heaven, highest level of hell.
Chicken snake gods and the Anunnaki and sorcery. If Sam says the chicken and snake god is running everything, I'm literally in the world of crazy. I'm winning.
You're losing. Conspiracy Social Club, aka Deep Waters.